Okay, I think we're ready to get started here. So welcome everyone to the College of Science and Mathematics orientation session, the Zoom orientation session. In a second, we'll kind of introduce the representatives from the college. Looks like we have maybe 25 or a little more than 25 of you here, which is great. Welcome to everybody. I just wanted to let you all know that we are recording this presentation and this Zoom interaction. So in case there are some that might have missed it, so just a heads up for that. We'll be, as we go through this, being that this is a Zoom environment, if at any point you have any questions or things come up, feel free to type them into the chat. We'll address them as we can. And we'll also pause a couple of times during what we're going to talk about here to give people a chance to ask questions so we can address those. And we'll certainly have time at the end for you all to ask any final questions that you might have. So I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Steve Whitmire. I'm an associate dean in the College of Science and Mathematics. I'm also a geology and environmental science professor. So let's just go around the room with the other folks that are here. Sam?
Hi, I'm Sam Prenz. I'm dean of the college and mathematics and statistics professor.
Courtney? Courtney, I think you're muted. Oh, that's strange.
Okay, there we go. It was preventing me from muting, but I am Courtney Hope, or Dr. Hope, and I am the new Student Success Coordinator and Inclusive Excellence Director for the College of Science and Math. And we're excited to have you all here today.
And Faith?
Hi, I'm a rising sophomore and I'm a physics major, and I'm here to just make a couple comments about my personal experience on these things.
Great. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. What we want to do is talk a bit about the college. And let me see if, there we go. And sort of your role, how you fit into the College of Science and Mathematics and into the department, and also a bit about what you can expect as we move toward the fall. So as you move towards orientation and getting started in your JMU experience and your JMU career. And then we also want to talk a little bit about resources and taking advantage of opportunities that you'll have as you move through your JMU career and beyond. So, this is really the beginning of your role as part of the college and part of science, mathematics, and statistics departments. You're part of the system, you're part of the college. Your peers are now fellow students, those that are on this Zoom call and others, as well as faculty and staff across the college and across JMU, because certainly you'll have interactions that extend beyond just the College of Science and Mathematics. Some of the things that you want to think about in the college are, what are the things that you should be aware of and should be focusing on, right? Obviously, developing new knowledge is a key component, probably something that you are all expecting and hoping for, but it's more than just that, because you aren't just learning new knowledge and building new knowledge and experiences, you're also learning to apply what you have done and in a variety of different ways, right? Scientific, mathematical, and statistical knowledge throughout any of the majors that are listed here in our departments into a variety of future career directions. There's no single path, as we'll talk about more than once as we move through this session this morning. But really, a lot of what you're going to be doing is developing the skills, knowledge, and experiences to solve real-world problems. Our world has got plenty of issues that we all need to address, and we all need to tackle, and we all need to talk about. And to a large extent, that's a lot of what you're going to be focused on over the next 4 or so years that you here at JMU, and then ideally as you move forward in career after that. A couple of things that we want to highlight. We have some new opportunities in the college that are coming online this fall. So not only majors that were listed before, but also there are an abundance of minors and concentrations within the college, and a few of the new ones include a concentration in data science, which is incorporated within the statistics major. And this is really interdisciplinary skills that are proving so necessary and vital for modern data science and data analyses, right? This whole idea of voluminous big data sets that are available now in any of those CSN disciplines, it's becoming increasingly important to develop and learn the skills necessary to effectively analyze and discuss these modern large data sets. So it's just a function of the modern world these days. We also have a new minor in climate science that's coming online this fall. We're really excited about this. This is a interdisciplinary minor, so it involves chemistry, geologic sciences, the Earth's climate system, but it also involves geography. So it involves some programs outside of our college. You will find, I think, that more and more disciplines are becoming intertwined. Cross-disciplinary and interdisciplinary are really the themes of many of our, or most of our, probably all of the disciplines in our college, and many disciplines across JMU. And so the more we can have these majors and minors that sort of link together a variety of disciplines, the better we're all going to be, right? The better a scientist or mathematician, statistician you're going to be, the better you'll understand the world around you. And finally, we have a new minor in computational analytics. This is through applied mathematics, and it incorporates numerical analyses and computer techniques, computational analytics, again, modern tools to really address modern problems. So as you're thinking about, most of you have probably already declared your majors, but as you're thinking about moving through your undergraduate career, you should think about, okay, how do I want to branch out from just my major? How do I want to incorporate various minors and various other skill sets into my JMU career? Anybody else want to pipe in about that at all? Okay. So who are we, right? And who will you become? Who are you developing into as you embark on your JMU career? One of the key things to think about is at JMU, you are scientists or mathematicians or statisticians or all statisticians or all of the above. JMU is really characterized by an undergraduate focus. You're going to be collaborating with your peers as undergraduates, and in some cases, particularly biology, maybe grad students as well. You'll be collaborating with faculty. You're going to be learning by doing. You're going to be learning by working with faculty mentors and other students on cutting edge research problems. You're going to be learning to use modern state-of-the-art equipment across the college, across all of the departments in the college. In the process of doing this, you are going to become part of the community, not just the community in your department or your research lab, but the JMU community and beyond, right? Not just the classroom and the lab, but also interacting with the broader community of professionals, scientists, mathematicians, but also it's really important that you develop the skills, especially as you move forward, maybe a couple of years into your major. It's really important that you develop the ability to talk to other people about what you're doing. Why is what you're studying important? Why is it relevant to variety of people, not just in your discipline, but to the general public? Can you talk to high school students or middle school students and get them excited about what you're working on and why what you're working on is important? This sort of outreach and communication, these are skills that are becoming more and more and more important in our world. And, you know, scientists, mathematicians, we can't just be siloed in our small disciplinary communities anymore. We really have to be able to enthusiastically talk about what we do and explain why what we do is important and relevant to everybody across the spectrum. So you should expect, as you move forward, to have opportunities and challenges to really be able to talk about what you do and why you do it. Part of that then is going to be involved in things like cutting edge research, right? This is instrumentation, laboratories. JMU is characterized by having an array of modern cutting edge instruments in all of the departments across the College of Science and Mathematics. This includes computational facilities, high-end equipment in labs. And as I said, the undergraduate focus means that you as undergrads are able to use all of this equipment with the supervision of your research advisor, right, who probably is supervising the lab facility, but you really get this hands-on experience. And so as you move through your career and beyond, you're leaving JMU not just with the knowledge, but also with the skills of how to do whatever component of science and mathematics and statistics you choose to move forward with. There are field-focused research opportunities, right? This includes, I mean, I'm a geologist, so I do a lot of stuff out in the field, and I interact not just with the natural environment, but with people in communities. So again, that outreach sort of component of things, but also things like, you know, the biological sciences, which have a strong field component. Not everything has a field component, but if that's the direction you choose to go down, there's a lot of expertise and equipment and opportunities that'll follow you there. The last thing that I'll highlight here are teaching opportunities where, again, the ability to give back to the community, both in terms of maybe mentor, when you become an upper class student, mentoring an introductory student, or maybe talking a little bit about reaching out to high school or middle schools and getting them excited about science. It really is true that the best way to really learn a discipline and learn a concept is to teach and describe it to somebody else. And so it's part of the experience. It's part of your JMU experience as you move through, really getting involved in those sorts of opportunities as well. I'm going to stop here for a minute and let some other people talk maybe a little bit. Faith, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about your research experiences, or anybody else who might have something to say there.
Yeah, totally. I can talk about it. So I'm actually doing research over the summer for pay. I'm doing nuclear physics research. And the way I got involved was we had to take this introduction to physics course where we got like introduced to research. And I worked with my professor and I built a Geiger counter, which detects radiation. And I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. And I really clicked with my professor. So I asked her more about what kind of research she does. And if you just have to talk to all the professors and ask them about their research, because they'll ramble on forever. And they're so excited to talk about it with you and have you involved. And she talked to me about it and like signed me up right away. And now I'm working with them. And there's a lot of teaching opportunities in laboratories. Like I work in our lab, but I go and visit people in other labs and see what they're doing. And our lab is really big and we do a lot of like building stuff. And I also do coding. And one of our teaching opportunities is we have a high school in our lab. And so actually right next door, other people in my lab are teaching him like how to use SolidWorks and how to solder. There's a lot of really good opportunities. You just have to talk to your professors.
That's really cool, Faith, to hear that, especially with the high school students. So I actually am a former student from JMU, and I graduated from the chemistry department. And while I was in chemistry, I did REU, which is research experiences for undergraduate students. And then I did that 2 summers, for 2 summers. And when Dr. W says cutting edge research, it's so true. I remember when I pursued my graduate career and went to a different university, I walked into the laboratory like, where am I at? I didn't realize how special it was to be at JMU with clean labs, top of the line instrumentation. So when he says that you're involved with the instrumentation and laboratories, you genuinely are. Your labs allow you to go and touch very expensive and unique instruments, but it's something that's very rare. I feel like within different universities to be able to be the one actually performing it rather than relying on someone else to do it for you. So you're definitely in a good place when it comes to research opportunities and also gaining experience within your actual lab classes.
Before we move too much forward here, anybody have any specific questions or things that have come up so far? You can either type into the chat or you can pipe up as well. Yeah, Dr. Prinz says, does research excite you or scare you? And hopefully, well, probably a little of both, right? But yeah, feel free to share questions in chat or speak up. Okay. So talking about things like research experiences, one of the, I think, biggest questions that students have, and maybe one of the things that students tend to find the most challenging are how do you get involved, right? How do you get started on this path? How do you find out what's really your passion and what you would like to work with other students and faculty members on? And there are a lot of different avenues to get yourself sort of involved in research activities. One of the ways are what we call CURES, which is course-based undergraduate research experiences. And really what this is many courses at JMU will have a component where you will work on a project, right? A research project, oftentimes an original research project. You'll probably work in groups with other students, but it gives you a taste of learning how to do what the research method is in your discipline. So how do you go about embarking on a research project? You collaborate with your peers on this, so you learn how to develop those necessary collaboration skills. And you also get a taste of what sort of research opportunities are out there. What does each of the faculty members in your discipline do? What sort of research opportunities do they have? And maybe it's something that you get really excited about. Maybe it's something you're like, yeah, this is interesting, but I'd like to see what else is out there. And that's good too, right? It's a chance to learn about the various opportunities so that you can ultimately decide on an avenue that you want to go in, what excites you. Other things that you want to make sure that you're aware of are things like department seminars and symposia. Each of the departments in the college has ongoing seminar series, both in the spring and fall semesters, where either faculty members at JMU will do a seminar to talk about their ongoing research, or oftentimes professionals from outside the university, across the field or from other universities, come in to talk about research. And this is a really good opportunity to really see what's out there, what people are doing, what's exciting in the discipline. And it's also a great way to interface and meet other people, both students and professionals. You want to get started doing this as soon as you come to JMU. So, put these symposia on your radar. It's also a great way to build your network. right? This is how you build your network and become part of the professional community. The other thing to keep your eyes open on are career conferences. We'll have a CSM career conference opportunity this fall. There are also some that are run by the Career Center. So keep your eyes open for those. And internships, especially as you start moving through your career, there are a variety of internship, and we call them work-based learning opportunities here at JMU that'll come through both your faculty, sometimes other students that are currently doing these work-based learning opportunities will make other students aware of them. They're also just come across the general college and department listservs and email threads. So keep your eyes open for those. Those are a great way to actually get experience in industry, in the workforce, to see what it's really like to do a job in whatever it is that you may be studying or interested in. So the real key here is participate. Get out there. I know it can be challenging when you don't know people as much and you're starting out, and we're all introverts at some level. I think it kind of comes with the territory with our disciplines to a certain extent, but it really is important to get out there and really try and interface with as many people as you can. Dr. Hope mentioned REUs. These are research experiences for undergrads. They're generally summer programs that are like 8 to 10 week programs. We have 4 REUs currently within the college in biology, mathematics and statistics, geology and environmental science, and chemistry and biochemistry. So keep your eyes open for those. There are various ways to get involved with those if that's something that interests you. And they all have little mini research projects associated with them. And in fact, I think this week or next week, there's a symposium where students involved in the REUs will actually be presenting on things they've been doing this summer. That's always really exciting thing to go and see what people have been doing. And I mentioned department colloquia and symposia. Again, keep your eyes open for that. There are other regional symposia that occur at JMU in our departments. The Shenandoah Undergraduate Mathematics and Statistics Conference, SUMS, is one of those where students come and talk about what they've been doing. That's basically a regional focused event. The Geology and Environmental Science program will be running a regional conference here at JMU in 2025. And there are various other ones as well. So those are neat opportunities where you can actually attend talks and talk to people, professionals that have come to JMU from around the region, around the world, et cetera. Okay, so we're sort of getting to the point where you want to start thinking about, all right, you're going to have a lot of experiences here at JMU. You're going to be involved in learning things and involved in research projects. So one of the components that we said before is, okay, what's an effective way for you to actually be able to get out there and tell your story? Can you describe what it is you're doing in terms that, your neighbor might understand? Or maybe you're up in Northern Virginia and you have to talk to a politician or a staffer, and you need to describe in a very short period of time. We call these elevator pitches, right? Describe what you're doing, why it's important, and maybe why they should be interested in supporting your efforts. So what are you learning from your classroom and your experiences? Again, how can you convey them? And again, this is not just to everybody else out there, it's also to employers. Sooner or later, you're going to be hitting the job market. You need to be able to talk about your skills and experiences in a way that is compelling to an employer. So really, communication is a key part of the story. So the other thing that we want to make sure we highlight as you get involved in JMU and start your JMU experience is not just your discipline or your specific department, but other organizations, clubs, groups. Some of them are discipline focused. Some of them are, maybe science and mathematics as a whole focus, right? College focus, perhaps. Some of them may be outside of the college, maybe some other JMU type of experience. There's a list here of a few of the ones that are frequently CSM students make themselves available of and get involved with. But again, I'm going to stop here for a minute. I think Faith usually talks a little bit about the stuff she's done. Perhaps Courtney, you can talk a little bit about some of these opportunities as well.
I'm really excited about this one because I'm actually vice president of Society of Physics Students. And this is a club that if you're a physics major, you're already a part of it. And we do a lot of fun and helpful physics stuff. So some of the examples of like what we're going to be doing this coming semester, we're going to have a bowling night. We're going to take a field trip to the Green Bay Telescope in West Virginia. We're actually, I just found a trip for us to go to Lake Anna, which has a power plant, and it's actually a cooling lake, and we're going to get a tour of that. So I'm really excited about that one. And we're also doing things where we can like have all the upperclassmen and underclassmen sit together and have like study buddies, because I don't want to personally struggle through my physics homework. I'd rather just ask the upperclassmen who just took it last semester and would be more than happy to help. I'm personally really happy to help anyone I can, even though I might not be the most helpful. Another club I like is the Association for Women in Mathematics. I've been to a couple of their meetings and they're a really good group of people. They had like a pizza party and we all talked about our different experiences, and it was just like a very welcoming environment. Another one that's not mentioned on here that I thought I'd bring up, I just remembered, is the Women Engineering Club, which is actually really fun. What they did last semester to raise money, they had a Mr. Engineering pageant, which is just a bunch of these engineering guys completely making a fool of themselves on a stage while you clap and cheer. It was a really fun time. There's a lot of fun clubs you can join, and they all have their own things. And even if you're not in the specific major, like we're really happy to like get connected with you. Like SPS is like going to be collaborating with the American Chemical Society. So make sure to follow us like on all the social media platforms to keep updated, and feel free to like DM and like get in touch. There's a lot of good opportunities.
Thanks, Faith. That was awesome. So I know one that I'll focus on is the College of Science and Math Student Council. That's an opportunity for students to come together and share what they feel is going well within their departments in College of Science as a whole, in math, or what they would like to improve upon. And so in my current role, it's my hope this year that in continuing years that the student council can be more involved with being strategic in ideas that they want to see happen, and also be a part of events that we have, so that those who are incoming, as you all, can feel welcomed and also recognize faces to whom they can talk to if they're not within a classroom or interacting with faculty and per se don't want to be involved in the organizations. You have the opportunity to at least know a familiar face that you can voice any concerns you may have, in addition to my self. And I would say it is definitely important to try and get involved in one of these groups of organizations, even if it's not a science one, because we also have non-science ones, because one, it helps to build a community, as well as helps you to not be isolated. And when it comes to CSM, it can sometimes feel isolating, especially if you're having a difficult time or a moment within a class. But to know that there are peers who are also walking that journey with you, it's very helpful. And they also do great things within the community as well, and have great involvement on campus and off campus. So I would highly encourage you to be a part of one, or even if you don't see one on here, start one if you would like to.
That's great. There's been a very lively chat session going on as we've been going through this Zoom meeting of everybody today. So if you haven't been following that, check that out. Some great questions in there. people piping in with various thoughts and ideas and other questions. So, okay. I mentioned this before, but there's nothing wrong with highlighting it again. One of the real opportunities as you move forward with your JMU career and in the various departments in the College of Science and Mathematics are to become a mentor for other students. There are some official ways of doing this, which is you could become a teaching assistant. I think almost every department has teaching assistants. You can become a learning assistant, a peer assisted study session, or a PASS leader. These are really, really good opportunities for you to help out fellow students, students that are starting out, but also for you to really consolidate your knowledge and learn how to really interact with people and discuss what you're doing and what your discipline's all about. So keep your eyes open for those. And if you have any questions about any of those sorts of opportunities, you can certainly ask other students, but you can also ask anybody in the department, faculty, unit heads, et cetera, for these opportunities. And of course, as I said before, keep yourself aware of department, major, and college social events. The departments all have incoming social events when you first start in the fall. So keep your eyes out for those. The college as a whole will have one as well, which is great because then we can get people from different disciplines and different departments talking to each other, which is always great as well. So keep your eyes open for those things. And again, right, give back to your community, get involved beyond just JMU. Don't be siloed within the JMU community. We have some specific ways you can do that through the college, some existing programs. These include MaddieSTEM, making a difference in science, technology, engineering, and math. And that's an opportunity where regional high school students and middle school students and others come to campus and get involved in hands-on activities in various disciplines. So it's a great way to really talk to the next generation of students as they're coming up and get them excited in our disciplines. A link was just put into the chat with where you can actually learn more about these outreach opportunities. So take a look at that. ChemFest is another chemistry-focused outreach opportunity. We have a Center for STEM Education and Outreach, which faculty are involved with. This is housed in the college itself. And again, it's a way for faculty and even students to go out into the community and work in high schools and other places to work with students, get them excited about STEM fields, STEM being science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We tend to use acronyms quite a bit here, so I'll try to explain them when I see them. We have a fantastic planetarium run by the physics department, physics and astronomy, and they do a lot of outreach to the community, lots of school groups and other groups. And in a lot of cases, it's actually undergraduate physics majors who are running the planetarium once they're trained in how to do that. So if that's the sort of thing that gets you excited, I would tend to look into that as well. And then we have STEM focus nights. So there's a lot of ways to get involved with the community and really get yourself and get everybody else excited about what you're passionate about. So we're getting toward the end of our time together, at least in this session. And just a couple of reminders here, right? Don't limit yourself. Don't constrain yourself. Take advantage of the opportunities that are here. If there's an opportunity that you don't see, as Dr. Hope suggested, create it. Make a new opportunity. Create a new group to get people together. There are lots of different paths to success. There's not a linear path straight through. Most of us have taken a variety of ways to get to where we are now, and that's okay. Keep your mind open, ask questions, don't be bashful about going to talk to your professors, talk to other students, and really try and take advantage and make yourself available to a lot of these opportunities as much as your time allows. Finally, I do want to spend a little bit, or we do want to spend, excuse me, a little bit of time here to make you aware of resources that are available to you. There's a list of a few of these options here. but I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Hope to really talk a little bit more about resources that are available and student support systems that absolutely you should make yourself aware of and take advantage of.
Yes. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm a student success coordinator, and in that role, that will pretty much be to support you all through your journey at JMU and in the College of Science and Math. A little background on me: I graduated in 2010 with a chemistry major, as a chemistry major, and then, or a bachelor's of science, that's what I'm trying to say. And then I moved on and took some time off and started working within the industry in the toxicology arena. And from there, I also utilized resources that were shown to me and told to me, which I would hope to be able to do for you all, which was do a post-baccalaureate program, research education program, which prepared me for graduate school. And then I went to VCU for my graduate career, graduated there in 2018, took time off again, worked in the industry, working with the Department of Newborn Screening at DCLS in Richmond, Virginia. And then I journeyed on to Merck in Elkton, Virginia. And now I'm here. And the whole reason why I'm in this particular role is because my experience has been very unique, and I've encountered many different situations and journeys, as Dr. W said earlier. And at JMU, I always knew that I wanted to come back and help the younger generation to be able to excel and go and achieve their goals and paths that they wanted to do. So for me, that's why I'm excited to be in this role, because I utilize a lot of resources at JMU. And I also want to mention too that I'm a first generation graduate and also a Centennial Scholar, former Centennial Scholar. So while I was here, I used the Career Center often to figure out what were my next moves and what I wanted to do. I did have a first year advisor, and I talked to my advisors often for my first year advisor and my major advisor. I relied a lot on my faculty instructors, and what I did for relying on them were going to their office hours, going to any additional study halls that they may have had. And in addition to your faculty instructors, we also have a lot of student resource centers where we have the Science and Math Learning Center. It's on the west side of campus because majority of CSM is on the east side and the math is on the west side of campus. However, they have been implementing where they come to this side to make it easier for students to be able to partake in the services with that community. And as well as in the math department, they have a math center too that you can go to any time of the year to get additional help and tutoring from professors and students as well. And so there's just a lot of opportunity for you to be supported and feel supported. And then those who may be coming in on a scholarship, and with a scholarship, there are communities for you as well for that, to just stay abreast on the requirements and also being connected with your peers within that. This summer, I hope to be with the Haynes students that are coming in, as well as the STEM scholarship students, to be able to just introduce myself and allow you to know more about JMU and upcoming events. And lastly, we do have one event which will be coming up some point in September, where it's a drop-in for you to get to know faculty members, student council members, and hopefully the different organizations within CSM, so that you can feel welcomed, as well as begin to start breaking down the barriers of communication and feeling comfortable to get to know others within the community of CSM. And my office is in the Dean Suite, 3124. Do not feel afraid to come in here. We want to see students. And I look forward to meeting you all in person.
So thanks very much for everybody who's been contributing to the session. Thanks for you all for being here. By all means, you can get information here with this QR code or with either of the websites that are listed here on the screen. We're really excited to have you join the JMU community. We look forward to meeting everybody this fall.